What's going on, guys? Doing a little wood whittling here in my warm, dry place. Not at the shop yet. Little carvings. This is basically my carving kit. This is my entire carving kit. We'll show you that. There's a video where I go down to the creek bed with this kit and start whittling away at stuff. I show in a video too how I make carving knives. I make carving sets out of old jackknives. The trick is, well, the main thing is to get the blade, the sharp part of the blade flat. So we'll be going through this stuff as we go through all this carving, whittling, cheap on a budget. You can essentially do all this on, say, a $5 to $10 budget. You don't need a lot of fancy stuff. I use dowel rod a lot of the time, and it's wicked hard. It's kiln dried wood, industrial grade dowel rod. It's made to be strong, more than malleable and carvable, and I use a lot of these wooden furniture pegs. This wood here is super soft. This is really nice wood. First thing I do anyway, you guys can do whatever you want. The first thing that I do, I don't need a glove or a lot of safety apparatus when I carve, but I do want to tape up the old thumb, because right there on that thumb is where you're going to be pushing the blade to 90% of the time when you're whittling or carving, hand carving. The old thumb is the one thing that you want to I'll go as far in as past the knuckle, because you're bumping that with the blade. If you're carving right, if you're carving correctly, you're going to be bumping that part of your thumb with the blade, and I'll show you here in a second. You see it in another video too, the live video on the stream with where the eagles were flying. Basically, you're doing that. That's carving, right? You put the piece here, right? And you're just pulling that knife right into your thumb. So you tape it up. Easy solution, right? And that way you're not risking, right? You want to, in any given situation, you want to risk, let me get my chair out of the way here. You want to risk damage, pain, injury to the smallest possible part of your body. Now, if you're sitting here doing this way and you're pushing, all this wood, as you push on it, eventually it's going to break away. You're going to snap your blade. You might get your finger in the way and cut your finger. I mean, I've got injuries from when I was a kid. I literally stabbed through my hand, came in here and went out there with a knife, and the blade broke. Got lots of injuries from when I was a kid. Sliced my finger wide open right there. Still got the scar from 30, 40 years ago. Well, over 30 years ago. I was like 10 years old. I got scars all over my hands from slips and mishaps. Got a big hole in my gut from a slip and a mishap with the chainsaw. And when I got hurt with the chainsaw, I saw it coming, and I kept saying, you better stop. You better think it through and slow down. And I didn't. And I was in a hurry, and I was stressed out. And the event organizer I was doing it as a favor for a friend, and the lady organizing the event was getting on my nerves, and I wanted to get out of there, away from her. Um, but I didn't want to go away in an ambulance. That's what ended up happening because stupidly, pride, I said, "Well, I'll fight through it. I'll do the stupid thing." And I even said when I said I'll do the stupid thing, I said probably gonna get hauled away in an ambulance on this. Um, so that's kiln dried wood. It cuts very fine, but it's very hard to cut. So you have to take your time with it. Um, so this is air dried. This is my own stock of wood uh, that I cut. I mill it with the chainsaws, and I'm just showing you it it, it cuts a lot easier than the other wood. Um, you gotta make sure your blades stay tight. But I mean, I've been carving with a X-Acto knife since I was a little kid. That was the first thing that got me into it. Was I saw people building models, and it's just simple. I just got the feet notched in that quickly and easily. Um, we had model kits when I was a kid, and we had great uncles and grandpas and parents that fathers that and older brothers and cousins that built models, and you'd go see their model collection. It was like looking at a whole city. They had everything. Well, my favorite part of it was these. I used to love using the X-Actos. I used to love playing around with that stuff. I thought it was really cool. I have no idea what you're saying, so you can keep going. But this would keep going, or you can stop. No one, we're not going to care. So this wood carves really easily. As you can see, I just go in. It's easy to control. It's just pine. It's air dried pine. You can take big or small chunks. The difference between air dried and kiln dried lumber is kiln dried is usually really, really hard and really tough, but it holds together better, but it's gonna also fight you more. It's gonna be a lot harder to cut. Now, one thing we're looking at here, and this is a dull blade. It's got a broken tip on it, but I still use it because if you look at that and you compare it to these, and I'm going to show you guys how to actually sharpen these up into nice whittling knives. Usually, well, and we'll give this a little test. You see, this cuts a lot different than that X-Acto knife. So the goal is to get this at least cutting like a dull X-Acto knife. And I know I'm going to be hated for this one, but this is what I do. What you're hearing in the background, I'm just watching a race. I like auto racing. I wrap this 1,000 grit, 1,000 grit auto body block. I just wrap it around something that's flat, square and flat. And when you sharpen a blade, you're just nicking the edge. You're trying to clean the edge. And you're not adding a whole lot of pressure. You're letting the stone or whatever you're using do all the work. Dude, I don't know what you're saying. You're not making any sense. Are you AI? You just need to be quiet and stop. Nobody cares. You're having a conversation with yourself here. And then Yeah, you keep saying the same. What the hell are you? You're. It's like, are you dumb? Are you retarded? I'm sorry to say that, but are you mentally challenged? Can you not type anything besides a bunch of K's over and over again? Yeah, they're Ray. Ray's actually speaking English. What's up, Ray? Ray Bing Bong. Is that your name? He says, "Hey, what's up? What's up, Ray?" Yeah, I'm just sharpening up a little bit of a knife blade here. Just showing you guys how quick. See, it's already cleaner than it was. I'm gonna go in. A few cuts with it. It's already cutting better. It could cut a lot better. Um, so I will just keep, and you don't press down real hard. You don't want to press down real hard when you're doing this. That's the main mistake that a lot of people make. You just give it enough pressure. I am giving it some pressure, a little bit. Just a little bit there. But you just give it enough that, and you, and you keep it flat. You want to keep it at the same angle because a wedge that's shaped like that, if you imagine the blade, the profile of the blade this way, right? You see it's a little wedge shape, right? It's wider on the top than it is on the bottom, and the bottom is coming to a very fine point. So if your wedge is clean and straight, it's going to slice through without any interference here. But as soon as you do that to it, if you cup it in, say using a file or something, now you're creating interference back here. Sometimes it's good, but other times it can dive in and it's going to steer and go funny directions and maybe pinch. Sometimes it's a really good thing. Or you have a wedge shape that's like that, you're going to get interference out here and it's going to lift your cutting edge out of sync with where it's at. So you want to try to get the flattest possible edge, even if it's just a little tiny piece of the blade, even if it's just the edge of the blade. So that's the hardest part about sharpening properly, is getting the blade right, the edge of the blade. When people strop, I don't think you need to strop personally. Um, Stropping is for professionals. It's for the really highly experienced guys that just want that little bit of extra more. Um, and they're doing really, really highly detailed, fine stuff. So you don't need to strap. I mean, I've had chisels that are rough as hell, but they're super sickly sharp. The same thing with hatchets. I've had hatchets that actually cut better than knives do. And it's even about, you can have like less pressure but go faster to get her nice and clean. And you see how I'm trying to polish the entire edge of the blade and get that edge all on one flat plane. The blade can have two angles to it. It's the cutting edge that's the most important, and you want it to be dead flat. As far as, like, if my cutting edge only takes up fingernails depth of blade, I want it to be nice and flat and straight. Straightness is key. Straightness is very important in a edge. If your edge goes like that, if you were to look down it microscopically, the main thing to sharpening is getting a straight, flat, clean edge and holding it. So this is a $5, and it takes a long time to sharpen. You guys are getting in too much of a hurry. I'll sit and do that for hours for a week or two straight before I get it right. Um, so it is, you know, it is cutting a little bit better when I pull with it. Here's the other trick. This is another fun one. I want to show you guys. Now, those of you who are being cool about this and sticking with me, and actually being good viewers and participants, I thank you for that, and thank you for your time and your quality views, your subscriptions. Um, the more, the more you guys get involved, the more excited I get about things, and the more apt I am to do giveaways. I know a lot of YouTubers do giveaways. Everybody wants giveaways, so make it worth my while to do giveaways. I don't know. What are you doing with a bar of soap? Well, you can carve. I don't want to get this on the floor because this will get messy. Um, you can carve soap very easily, and it's a cheap. I don't want to hear people say, I can't find any wood to carve. You know what I mean? Like if you're saying I can't find any wood to carve, then go find a bar of soap. You can get a bar of soap from anywhere. You know, there's soap everywhere. There's wax. You can carve so many things. And soap is very easy. You're not going to get hurt carving it. You're not going to accidentally slip. But you're going to learn how it feels to cut something, and you're going to learn how clean your knives are. And you guys are going to see me repeating myself an awful lot in the near future because I want to teach you guys all about carving. I teach the most basic stuff that a lot of other carvers don't. I talk about the most basic stuff that a lot of other carvers skip over. They think, oh, we're just going to go buy thousands of dollars in chainsaws, and we're just, well, I have all that. I've invested in all that, and I've done that my whole life. But here's the other thing. I've done this too, and I still really enjoy doing this. I enjoy being poor boy welfare special. I call it the welfare special because I've personally I've never been on welfare, but I've definitely lived off of my own, like literally, like made, was living like I could be on welfare. And if you're on welfare, you can still work. You can still do this, and the little $5 bill. It's your choice. Life is about choices. Go get your pack of smokes. You sit out and bum change. You can sit and carve while you bum change, or play the guitar while you bum change, and live off welfare. It's not a horrible thing. I don't have anything against, and see, this blade is much different than this one, and this one already took a better edge. This one needs some prettying up, but this one is working. This one is actually doing its job. It's just getting a little bit in its own way. And if you look at the cleanliness of the blade, it's not super clean. You see, right? Right there. You see that the blade's inconsistent, but it's good. It's doing a good job of cutting. And that's all that we're doing to get these little things. Right? We're just going through the steps and the stages of doing this. So don't get me wrong when I say things about poor people and being poor. So you can tape your finger up too, because you're gonna put your finger in the way every now and then, but you don't need all them safety gloves and all that. And the thing is I'm pushing in here and I'm putting pressure, but if it's not moving, I'm not forcing it. I'm stopping and I'm going back and I'm taking a little bit out around it. taking just that little bit out around it. So that I can get in there. And see, you don't want to apply a great deal of pressure anyway that you go, because even away from yourself, you're still risking. You always want to pre-think. You always want to be ahead of the things that you're doing. The simplest way to do this is get an even sharper knife and then just sit there and pick away at it until you get it out clean. And then once you get it out clean, then you can start digging away and cutting at it. But the trick is to look ahead of what you're doing. And yeah, you can tape all your fingers up if you're learning and you're worried about nicking yourself or slipping and going right through your finger. Yes, it can happen. Especially when you're learning, because you don't know the limits of what you're doing. You don't know where you're going with it and the likelihood of that. So this was a $7. So now we're getting more fancy. We actually have little gouges with the set that we can use. We're going to take care of those and baby those as much and use them as little as possible. We got a whole plethora of normal slicing, cutting, pulling, chip cutting type of blades. We have this handle that came with the set, and we have these old school type. I like having both. We're getting into big money now, guys, because we got, what did I buy this for? $5 with a pack of spare blades. This was fine. The only thing is that when the blade starts to dull and you break the tip, these come loose often. That will happen as you're torquing on it, putting weight on it. So you just gotta watch for that. And not, if you can avoid it, don't put too much weight on it. So there's $5. Bought this at a yard sale for $10. Put some time into grinding it down and honing it. There's a couple videos out. I'm going to make another one showing this. Right? $10 old pearl handled, very fancy colonial steel, nice knife. Right? You can find these anywhere. Go to the pearl handle. If you find pearl handle, you're getting quality. I have even better pearl handle ones that have even better blades on them than this. This is very nice. Aviation building, right? So this is history, which I love. But anything pearl handle is going to be your quality. That's going to be your quality blade on your pearl handle knife. These are your kind of newer. This is a stainless blade. Stainless does not give a real good edge, does not hold a real good edge. It's a multi-tool. You can find them anywhere. People get them for free. Now, I don't have one here, but the little Swiss Army knives, the keychain knives that I carry around all the time, those are really good too. And I have a few of those that I've changed the shape of for carving. So altogether, we're into this $20 or less, and I didn't need to spend that. This is luxury now, right? Basically, I needed the small, finer detail, and I needed the larger. And I didn't need two larger ones. I only have two larger ones because they came on the same knife. And I wanted to try things out with them. So there I got an extra out of that. Really, to whittle, you only need this if you sharpen it right. That's all that you need. You can find them for free. You don't have to pay for any of it. If you look around, if you guys actually go out and search around. Now, here is, there's stuff to carve everywhere. There's wood to carve everywhere. There's soap, there's wax, there's all kinds of stuff that you can carve. You don't need anything special. You can find this kind of wood anywhere that you are in the city. Go dumpster diving. Go walk down an alleyway. Find some old furniture. Break the legs off, and now you got some carving wood. Go to the dollar store and buy a bunch of soap. You know, there's no reason, there's no excuse. There's no reason that you can't learn. This little thing, $2 special at a yard sale. You could go buy one in a store, I think, for $5 or $10 or less. It's just a hacksaw blade holder, and they even come with a blade. I'm finding that the longer that I leave the blade out there, the better it works for some reason. If I go shorter, it pinches like crazy. I don't know why. It's just general physics. And you don't have to go, see how I just bent it because I was watching you guys and not my blade. You don't have to push it real hard. You don't have to put a lot of force into it. I find if I put it with the teeth facing this way so it cuts when it pulls, it doesn't work. It's going to pinch and grab, and it's going to keep pulling it out of the tool. Yeah, see here, I got $2. $2 junk store special. Really cool. Really cool. So, take these. We want to straighten them out. And after a blade pinches once, that spot where it bent is going to be really weak, and so you really just want to just focus on one thing that you're doing, and you just take your time. See how it's catching now, it's bending. It's going to keep doing that, so I mean, you don't have to cut this off yet. You don't have to use these. You can use a different saw, or you could carve all this. You could V it, just like if you were an old wood carver, old wood chopper using an axe to cut a tree down. You can do that using a knife. See, now it's pinching real bad because it's getting heated up. It was working great, but now she's getting all heated up. But these things are awesome. They really are. If you can afford a nicer handsaw, they make nicer ones. Of course, at the shop, I have nicer ones. I don't even know where they are. I don't even know what I did with them, because it's been so long since I've used them, and I've wanted them for the past few months. I've wanted them on a regular basis. So eventually you'll get this cut. It'll stop bending, but you just got to be ready for it to bend. Like I said, once you bend it once, it heats up, and then it's going to constantly want to bend every time it pinches or grabs. So you hear it's pinching. So you just want to go around and get it out of the piece of wood. Now it's going to grab every single time you push on it. So we almost got cut through. The problem with it, the paint heats up, the blade heats up, the blade gets uneven. But basically, I will, because I have a big wood shop, lots of chainsaws and lots of powerful saws, I will bring home pieces of wood like this, right? That's basically what this came out of. Pretty much the same, thicker. This is thicker, so I will make nicer pieces, right? These are fine furniture pegs. You can get them at the craft stores. There's an air-dried, larger version of a furniture peg. Very nice piece of wood. Cuts really well. Very nice cut on that. Very easy to deal with and work with, right? So that's this is going to be harder to cut. This is going to be harder to work with, right? And you're going to want to stay more away from it with your thumbs and your fingers. You can still do it, but it's a lot tougher wood to cut. So I'm going to go get a nicer pull saw for this. But you see how it just broke there because I was pressuring it. That's the other thing about kiln, is it'll take a lot of pressure, and then it'll break away, and when it breaks away kind of violently in ugly ways, and so you got to be careful of that danger. But you see where I kind of cupped it here, because I use this for hanging stuff. I put it over the bar in the shower. Um, it cuts nice. You can work with it, but it's not the best wood. Um, if you want to buy some basswood, go right ahead. But I go out in the wood piles. We have wood everywhere where my shop is, and I make I make dozens and dozens of blocks, and I mill a lot of stuff. I mill big blocks of wood, big pieces, big slab wood, um, with the chainsaws, and then put them in the barn to dry. And then after they've dried for a few years, nice and slow, in a dark place, dark and dry, um, then I cut them up into little pieces like this, little strips, and then I just chop. So yeah, that's where we're at now. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I hope this helps. We're gonna have many more videos about this stuff. Many more videos about my journey through carving. I'll show you the first saws that I had. I'll show you the first saws that I used. Um, you see, it's all very simple, right? I used a pepper can for sharpening. I did sharpen this guy on that for a while, and it's 100 times better than it was before then. And the thing I like about this set is I've got three different knives in one set. I can carry this in my pocket, right? Carry this with me anywhere. I can have one in the car. So the thing is, you want to buy me gifts? You want to give me stuff for Christmas? Give me knife sets. Like, that's what I tell everybody, and nobody ever does. And they don't understand that a wood carver, when you're doing it all the time. I mean, this is just with X-Acto knife and that jackknife, right? We're working on a little cat carving. We will do a video of this guy. And I will show you some other things that I've done. We'll show you many other carvings, big and small. I carve big and small. I don't just carve one size, and I don't just carve in wood. I don't just sculpt in wood, or I do wood, ice, metal, and stone. And I have for years. I was professional. I used to go all around my state doing the ice carving for a while. Used to travel all around different states on the East Coast, to different events and different things. So yeah, it's been fun getting you guys into step with this, and we'll try to get some published videos together more.